Hello. So we are doing a series of videos where it's something versus something, kind of like a challenge video. And today it is Disney versus Universal. We have traveled to the Disney parks several times, the Universal parks several times, and one of us is a hardcore Disney fan, and one of us is a hardcore Universal fan. Which is which, Eli? You're not gonna fess up to it?
I'm a Universal guy.
He's a Universal fan, and I'm like the Disney adult. I love the family. I love the fantasy of Disney. And why do you like Universal so much?
Well, because it's not as greedy as Disney.
It's not as greedy. Okay. Do you like more of the thrill? Is it more of a grown-up park to you than kiddie stuff?
Well, it's more like a mix of different movies
And you like a lot of the movies for Universal.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a gecko over there.
Think it's the same gecko?
No, it's much larger, but...
We're currently on a vacation home in Florida in a sunroom, and there's geckos climbing all around us, which is really cool. I hope they eat the bugs, because Florida's got a lot of bugs. So in this video, Eli, we are going to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 how each of us feel certain things within the park is, such as, we'll start with the first one, food. Okay, so food's very important to us. I'm going to start off. In Magic Kingdom, they have the confectionery, and they have all kinds of dessert treats with the cupcakes and the Rice Krispie treats. And my very favorite thing is the popcorn that they mix in a bucket, and they pour chocolate on it, and they dump M&Ms in it. I feel like you can't go wrong with the Disney food. You have the Disney ice cream sandwiches. You got the Mickey waffles. There's so many restaurants around that are themed like, beaches and cream. And then my very favorite, Disney Springs, which we just went to a few days ago. My favorite restaurant there is the Polite Pig. Used to have Sprinkles Cupcakes. Very upset that went out of business. But then you also have Gideon's Bakehouse. I feel on a scale of 1 to 10, Disney gets a 10 because they hit it out of the park for the food. The cost, yeah, I wouldn't give it a 10 on that. Okay, Eli, can you remember some things that you ate when we were at Universal? You can think of our most recent was Epic Universe.
Okay, there was some french fries and chicken from the dragon thing.
The Dracula Steakhouse.
That one, the chicken was good though, and I'm thinking about it.
You were obsessed with that chicken. Remember we even went back and they closed on us? That was a bummer. What else did you like about that day that you ate?
Yeah, there was also some creepy guy who kept following me though, but
I think the creepy guy was one of the characters, and he was giving you an experience of creeping you out in Dark Universe, and it did creep you out.
Yeah, I think it's one of those.
Any other food that you ate? I think we got an ice cream for you in the center of the park. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, the ice cream. Yeah.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think you would rate the food at Universal?
A 10, yeah.
A 10. Oh man. Well, actually, we're going to go back to Universal in a few days to go to City Walk. We're going to go to, I think it's called the Chocolate Emporium, which looks like Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, and that might move him up to an 11 after he experiences the ice cream and desserts they have there, because you are obsessed with chocolate. Okay, so the next challenge here with the Disney versus Universal is wait times. So theme parks, you're going to have a lot of wait times in each park. Our strategy with that is, with Eli, we have never used the DAS pass in Disney. I know that gets to be a bit of a controversy. With my Autism, I absolutely would use that. And with Eli, even though it is hard for him to wait in lines, he is capable. But we probably won't do much of the park because his frustration builds and builds, and then it just ends up not being a great day. So our strategy with that is we have done the parties. We've done the Halloween parties, and so your wait times are reduced because only so many people are allowed in the park. And that's been really great. And you also don't really like roller coaster rides, right? You're not a big about the rides that are going to have the really long lines. He's not wanting to do those rides. So that's kind of another strategy. Getting to the park early is something you could do at Disney or Universal, and that helps with the wait times. But I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, the wait times for the Disney parks, because Disney offers the parties and you have options with that, I would say a 6. Sorry, Disney. I can't rate that very high because the wait times are an issue. But for you, Eli, at Universal, let's just use Epic Universe as our last visit to the parks. And we did use the Disability Pass program that they had there on that day, because there's only a few rides there. All of them were well over 100 minutes. And we just had that one day there. It was a very hot day also. How did you feel about the waits, being that we were able to get that pass and the line was shortened?
Well, it was kind of long though, but it was like at least like somewhere in the minutes. So, and it was like much faster than the other lines. So, I almost have no problem with it though.
Okay.
But of course, there's other people like me. So,
it's hard for not just people with autism, but a lot of different diagnoses of people need access to that disability pass to be able to wait in lines. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think you would rate Universal for the wait times?
7.
A 7. So, okay, Universal slightly wins out on that one, which I do agree. The other time we had been to Universal, we did the Simpsons area. That was real important to you.
Yeah.
We saw the Transformers, and I mean, that ride we got to go on 3 times. We did Halloween Horror Nights, and they also had several rides available for them that night, and they had very short rides. So, yeah, I think I have to admit it. Universal wins on that one. Okay, next category is which park has the best rides? And we're going to have to fight on this one, Eli. Oh, because this is, okay, let's start out this way. In Universal, of the parks you've been to, what would you say is the number one best ride out of the ones we've done?
It's either the Simpson one or the Transformer one, because both of them are just the same though. But one, you're in a car that's just like moving around, and the other, you're in a car that's like moving just kind of like this with a screen though. But it doesn't go upside down or like any of that, so I'll do that one. And yeah, I can't wait because I was seeing the Simpsons one on YouTube though, so that has like the nostalgia that the
nostalgia.
That one, yeah, or the Transformers one as well. Something on myself. So I'm either picking something new versus something old. You know.
Oh, yes.
I can't really choose any of them.
Okay. If you think at the Disney parks, which for you, the only Disney park you have been to is Magic Kingdom, do you remember a favorite ride that you had there?
There was like this like racing car one where, yeah.
Really, you like that one? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and the fumes from the car and going around the track, but of course, it was like on like some thingy, so it would just like go on the same path and that free driving wheel like Panama City. But
okay, well that's cool. For me, my very favorite ride is the Haunted Mansion. Of course, you can't beat that. It's all things scary. It's a dark ride. It's in air conditioning, and while you're waiting in line, there's lots of cool things to see. So, okay, let's rate these on a scale of 1 to 10. When you're talking about best rides, so it's hard for me because we haven't been to a lot of the Disney parks in a long time. He really hasn't been to them. I've been with my oldest son to all of the parks, but that was a very long time ago, maybe 20 years ago. So I've not been to Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom in a very long time. So but with what I know, I would say an 8. What would you rate Universal's rides? A 10. I guess Universal wins again. And our last category we're going to rate the theme parks is going to be a combination of just all over autism friendliness in the parks. The noise levels, the sensory experience, the ability to use the access pass. The accommodations are how the cast members or the staff there help and assist people with disabilities. So all over those categories. I would say Disney, the rides are really quite wheelchair accessible. There's some rides where you can put your wheelchair right onto the ride, like It's a Small World and the Jungle Cruise. Everything is very mobility-wise is easy to navigate. Sensory-wise, I think there's areas where you can get a break where you need it to be a bit more quiet, but maybe not as much as Universal, actually. How do you feel when you've been in Magic Kingdom with the sensory issues? I know the heat was a real big struggle for you. There's not a lot of shaded areas, but we kind of use the pocket method where we would go into a restaurant, get some air conditioning, go and do things. Do you think Universal is better for a person with autism than Disney is?
Yeah, Universal, that I kind of had no problems with, though.
Why do you think that was?
I don't know, it's just better over there.
Did you feel at any point when you were at Universal, the few times we've been, of being overwhelmed or too loud? Like at Halloween Horror Nights, that had to have been a struggle for you.
A little, like the bittiest tiniest bit.
But you wore your headphones a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So that helped to block out a lot of it. And you would kind of move your headphones off your ears at points when you wanted to hear things, but then you could put them back if you needed to. How did you feel with just the overall, how people you felt treated you, being able to use the disability pass at Universal?
Oh, they were completely nice.
They were all nice? Yes. Were they nice at Disney too?
Yeah. Of course they were forced to, but yeah.
They're forced to be nice to you? Well, anytime you have a job, you kind of have to provide good customer service. It should be expected. So when you're thinking, the one thing I would really say Universe has over Disney is an Epic Universe, you can order things from your table. And boy, when you have sensory issues with waiting in line and being all the crowded spaces and people being right up next to you, that eliminates a lot right there. Just being able to sit at your table, have your space, order your food, and it was fast. I was so shocked with that. And the food was actually more affordable than Disney. So, okay, we're going to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10. What would you say the sensory environment and the autism friendliness is of Universal?
At least a 9 or 10, yeah.
Okay. And I would say the same for Disney. I think they've been very accommodating. When I have used the DAS pass with my oldest son, they were kind with him, and we also used a wheelchair with him. Not an issue. Not only that, but when I arrived to the park with him, someone walked over to me to offer to help me sign up for the DAS pass. So I didn't even seek it out. They just could identify that he needed that help and got us set up with it. And that was such a relief off of me. So I was very thankful for that. Okay, we have a bonus round. This is rapid fire, and I'm going to ask you questions, and then you just give me your honest answer of the first thing you think of. On both parks, what's the best roller coaster you've done?
Okay, so Universal, it's a mix between the Men in Black, the Symptoms, and the Transformers.
So you're just going with best ride all over?
Yeah.
Okay. Of all the parks you've been to, what was the number one best snack or food item that you ate?
Well, for like the hall, so Universal.
Could be Disney too, whichever one.
Well, I'd like this Universal park. The best one was like that Jack you and me with the French fries and chicken. And there's like some. Wait, was there something in it though? I don't know.
There was chicken that was on a skewer.
Oh yeah.
So it looked like it'd been stabbed. And you loved the French fries.
Yeah.
Yep, that was a good one. Of all the rides that you've been to between Universal and Disney, what was the scariest one?
Probably the haunted house one because, well,
Yeah.
yeah,
We had a mishap on that, didn't we?
yeah, it was kind of weird though, but it was like fun though. But I looked down and we were on some like giant column thing. So if this thing kind of just went wrong, it would just completely like fall, and that would be it though. But we should going up there though.
There was a point where, you're in this thing where it shields you in the back, and it went backwards down a hill, and he wasn't expecting it, and then kind of got stuck there because the ride was down. And then it started to go again, and then we got stuck in another spot for a long time. I think maybe 10 minutes. I thought we were going to get evacuated off, which would have made my day, because that's a dream for a Disney adult. But it did give us time to see all the details, but then the details were worrying him because he could see, lights were coming on, and he could see we were kind of elevated, and it made you a bit nervous, right?
Yeah, because one mishap and you're going up there. But at least you're going up there though.
Of all the rides you've been in those parks, what was the most boring ride or the letdown?
I can't think of one, honestly.
I don't know if there's a letdown. I mean, some people will go on It's a Small World. That's the one that plays the song over and over and has all those little creepy dolls, and you go through all the countries
Yeah.
on a boat ride.
Yeah, all the like ethnicity, minorities, all that. And I really loved it that way though. But it did like break down some like time ago, and it was stuck for like 30 minutes, and there was some guy who kept queuing it over again. He ended up getting some mental problems from it though. No, it's been a long time since I heard that story though.
I don't even know what that story is, but well, that is our Disney versus Universal. I sadly think Universal won on this one, and I'm okay with that. You can be the winner. I'm still going to enjoy my Disney time. I might do more solo trips where I just go myself then. Would you go, if I went to Disney again, would you want to go, or would you rather stay home?
I think I would go with you, yeah.
Okay. Good, because I like to enjoy it with you. But if you had to choose between Disney and Universal, it sounds like Universal's going to win. Thank you. Till next time.